Welcome back, guys. This is going to be the second part of W.D. Gann's book Tunnel Through the Air Secrets Revealed. This is the book. We have finished. Secrets Revealed is more about the second reading. The first reading was much more easier. We have already explained in the previous videos. The link would be given in the description part. Let's try to go further and understand how things are there. We have seen certain parts which are there into the book as such. We were there in chapter 1 and trying to understand few of the things, right? So this is Tunnel Through the Air, chapter 1, in the extreme northeast corner of the Lone Star state of Texas. Now we see something very specific, a lone star which is there. Now what is this lone star? You should generally write state of Texas or just Texas. That's it. That would have been much more easier. But it's written as Lone Star. To try to find out what exactly is this Lone Star state of Texas. Let's go to Google. Lone Star state of Texas. Right, so this is more of history which is there. Let's try to go something related to the images parts and try to understand things which are there. What we see is a star. Good. So this is a logo that we see. What is there is a circle, and in the circle we find a star. Right. So this is again in a similar way which comes down over here, a circle, and in that circle we find a star. So what is the relevance of this part? Do we try to identify this with something that we have seen previously? What was the best thing that was there nearer to this part? A circle, and in the circle we find something similar. What the best thing that I can do is I can find and understand about the Gann emblem. The Gann emblem was very similar. Let's try to find out one more window. We talk about Gann emblem. So again, if we see Gann emblem is something very similar. We have a circle, we have a square, we have a triangle, right? So we know the meaning of this circle, 360 days. We know this square, which is seasons which are there. Accordingly, the triangle, 120 days. So probably there should be a meaning, something similar in that part, right? Uh, so we see a circle and that we see a star. So this is something related to more of astrology, astronomy. We'll take that separately in a separate chapter. But yes, this was just coming over there. So that's why I thought let's discuss that part also. Right. So this is Lone Star, state of Texas. And the next part is about 8 miles west of Texarkana. Now again, Texarkana, if you see in the overall chapter, you don't find much of the things which are there, maybe. But something as a hint, maybe Texer is something different and Kana is something separate. So let's try to find out about that also. Texar, Texarkana. Now what we see is Texarkana is in Texas, Arkansas also. Oh, so probably let's try to find out about Texas because he was there in Texas and read something related to that. So Wikipedia is there. That is the best thing. Oh, and it says Texarkana is a city in eastern Texas with a twin city across the border in Arkansas. Why I'm trying to read that is what we need to do is whenever we read about W.D. Gann and whenever we find something odd related to that, probably we'll just try to find out more of in terms of Google, what exactly things are there, so that we get more information related to that. So one of the best information that we have got is probably it was a twin city having or maybe probably in two different states also. So Texarkana was there in Texas also, and it was there in Arkansas also. And anything more interesting that we see is the population was quite less, so that is okay. So I mean, I just want to say that yeah, this is how you'll be able to find out. The name Texarkana is known to be a portmanteau of Texas, Arkansas, and nearby Louisiana. So it is like TX Tex, A Arkan, Ana, Texarkana. So that is how it is there. I mean, just try to find out things which are there so that you get some extra information. Anything which you find out odd probably had just always to be found out, right? Uh, we saw about the date which was there. We saw about the San Francisco earthquake which is there. Just before going to all these things together, let me tell you about a very interesting thing about this book, right? See, this book, probably the preface or forward was there on May 1927 and the end of the book was 1932. Let's try to find out in terms of stock market what has exactly happened during that time period, right? So we go to Dow Jones. This is the monthly chart, and if we see right before that, probably this is how the market was. So this is in terms of Fibonacci that I've tried to mark out, maybe probably the high, low, high and 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 low. So market till this part was starting from, this is 1897 to be precise, because before 1900 it was 1897. So that's how old is Dow Jones. And probably after that, till this part, market was more of only till 119. So it was just moving, of course, in terms of Fibonacci only. And after that, what we see is a huge spike from 1921 till 1929. So this looks more like a Harshad Mehta scam, which we see in terms of Indian market. 1920, 1920, 1919 to 1929. So almost 10 years, there was a huge bull rally which was there. And after that, there was a huge fall also. So this fall had come down almost from 386, that is 400 levels, to the bottom of 40. So it had dropped down almost by 90% or much more to that, right? So it had just come down to the basic, maybe this kind of figures of 40s were almost around maybe 50 years back, not 50, but exactly 20, 25 years back, at least 30 years back, starting from 1929 onwards. So it's like, yes, 40 was there year, and this way also. So almost gradually 10 years before that, it was just playing across in those figures, and it has a huge bump. It went up from almost, let's say, 66 to a high of 358, maybe much more than that. The high was exactly 386, and from that it gave a Fibonacci return and just came down right till 1.618 levels. So we saw that it has almost reached at a level of 40. So there was a huge fall, and this exact figure, or maybe the start, is almost from 1929 till 1932, that is June 1932. And you can say that the second low which was there, or probably June, July, and our battlefield ended in August 1932. So you can say that, okay, this is a coincidence, or probably Gyan knew about this fall which was going to come down. That's why he has written this book somewhere around in 1927 when the market was going up, and he predicted that there would be a huge fall. So just a coincidence to talk about and discuss about. Coming back to our book, this was the preface, and we saw about Lone Star. As we discussed, we will be going that into the astrology and astronomy part. Maybe take a video later on regarding that, right? And state of Texas. Then we saw about 8 miles wide of Texarkana in a lonely farmhouse. In a lonely farmhouse on Sunday morning, June 10th, Amelia Gordon. And Now, something specific, interesting that I saw visualized from my side is, let's talk about the words, right? So one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 letters in first line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters in the second line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters again in the third line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 letters. I mean, like, is it a coincidence, something like that, that you'll be finding 99999, which is there, or probably 9 is an important number, and we discussed over here that okay, 9 is going to be an important number. So probably not a coincidence, but yes, Gann wants us to understand about few of the things which are there and try to see those things also. And probably if you again see in terms of letters which are there in the first paragraph, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52 till the first sentence, starting from in to sun, is 52, right? Uh, just in the previous chapter, we saw something which is coincidental, that the dates which is there from the San Francisco earthquake till Robert's birthday, that is 9th June 1906, is again 52, right? So this we have seen over here and mark that part, that the date from San Francisco earthquake, which is 1906, to Gordon's birthday, that is 9th of June 1906, again is 52 days, right? And the number of words in the first sentence of the first para is again 52. So probably this is how we need to get into the details part and try to understand things which are there, right? So 52 is something that we think is important. What is important, how it is important, let's try to understand. WD and 52 importance. So let's try to understand and see what are the things which are there. We see a square of 9, other things. Okay, let's try to go to the overall details. So what we see over here is the 52 Gann square drawing tool allows you to draw a square on your chart page based on the number 52, a number recognized by WD Gann as important. So something is important about this which Gann wanted to tell us about, right? Support hub, WD Gann Cycles Research Institute. Let's try to get some details which is there. WD Gann, all maybe details about him have been mentioned. Psychology framework, master yourself, trading strategies which have been given, importance of number 3. Top usually takes time to form, spike top or less. This is there which is given in cycle research institute.org. Probably I'll share this link into the description so that you can get into the details, understanding about all the important things, right? Something about the cycle of years seasonally, right? What's the significant days in solar years, right? Now, as we discussed in the Gann emblem, what we see is there are few certain dates which are important. Those dates are 22nd of December, March 21st, June 22nd, September 21st, 23rd. So this probably are critical days. Today or we are sitting on 20th of May. So let's try to find out or identify something which is related to 22nd of June. And days of important angles from these days: 15 days from December 22nd, January 5 to 6, February 5, May 5, July 7, August 7. So these are probably his interpretations which are there. He talks about various things together, important count of weeks. So probably you can get into the details and try to understand things which are there. There are two kinds of cycles: time cycle of natural cycles and cycles derived from the significant prices. Now see, this is again important, and that's why in every Fibonacci we try to find out from the low or the high. So whatever Fibonacci we have seen, you can probably go through the unit of technical analysis, chapter 1 to 10. There you'll be able to find out about Fibonacci and how we have been able to find out about the bull cycle, bear cycles from the low and high. Right. So the cycles which are there, again, those have been divided into 1/8, 1/4, 1/3, 38, 1/2, 5/8, 2/3, 3/4, 7/8. So all these small calculations he has done from his side and try to identify things which are there. Right. So let's try to see. He has talked about various things: square of 90, square of 12, square of 144. So all these things probably are much more important that we need to understand. He's talking about 144 by 144, which comes to 2736. Then there are divisions: days, weeks, months, years. Probably that's why I have also taken this maths calculations. We're talking about a year, a month, a week, day, hours, minutes, seconds. Again, we have done the same thing for a month. Here we have done the calculation for a year. That is 1 year is 12 months, and the overall calculations. So same day we have done the calculations for month, then a week, a day, an hour, a minute, all together. Right. So because these things are important, again the same things with squares, the moon cycles which are there, the planets and their calculations. Right. So we see the divisions which are there: 1, 1.5, 1/4, 1/8, 1/16, 1/32, 1/64. Right. Few important things that we come to know about over here is we see those Fibonacci numbers which have been coming up: 0.236, 0.3, 0.6, 1.272, 2.618, and all these numbers probably are something much more similar to this. So probably these are coming more of in terms of the target parts, right? So coming back to the book, we were something on the correlation between this, and we found out a number which is 52. So let's try to identify what is there in this number 52 also, so that it becomes easier for us to understand. So what is the correlation? First of all, 52, if we see in terms of the entire year, first thing is we know that, okay, 52 weeks are there. So 52 into 7 is 364. So we see that of a year, this is 1/7 part, right? So 1/7 part is also something which is important. And we saw that, okay, he has also done similar kind of calculations for weeks. 7 weeks period is considered as that zone. And all these calculations are there. Probably we need to have enough time for that. And that's how it goes. So here we know that 52 is nothing but 1/7 part of the entire year. This is what we'll keep and try to understand. Let's go to the further things, understand those things also, right? So Calvin Gordon, the baby's father, has been, and yes, anything which has been underlined in the next part. But yes, what we understand is here main emphasis was been given on San Francisco earthquake. So probably this is something important, maybe a start or an end point. We'll consider here as a start point for that, and try to interpret more of other dates on the basis of those things also, so that we need to understand that if we are able to get some correlations, right? Oh, so Captain Gordon was a farmer growing mostly cotton. So here is the first time that we see the letter cotton. And again, let's try to do some R&D. Cotton, for the first time we see in chapter 1 on page number 2. So let's try to see and put down that cotton, page number 2 and chapter 1. right? So similarly, let's try to go and find out where all we'll be getting cotton. So cotton, of course, we know that, okay, Robert has been trading into cotton as per the book. So we see the last time it is on page number 276 and chapter number 25, right? So chapter number 25 and page number 276, again, we do the calculation and that's it. We find out 274 and 24. So at this stage, yes, we saw various things together which were there from the chapter 1 part, talking about Texarkana, talking about the date of birth, and then the earthquake, which is there, the correlation between 52 and how that has been there together with the teachings which are there from W.D. Gann, and it comes to 1/7 of the overall part, right? And we also saw the huge bull run in which was around which came to an end somewhere around in 1929, and a fall which was there coming in 19 till 1932, which was again probably the war period that has been described by W.D. Gann in the book. And again, a coincidental part that the end was coming almost to the end of the bull or end of the bear cycle and start of the bull run. So this is something really important. Let's try to figure some of the things which are there in next chapter one by one. We'll meet in the next part.